Hey friends! Hey friends, Susan here. I'm waiting for my computer to go live. It keeps telling me I am, and yet I'm looking at it seeing nothing, so we'll see what happens. Tonight we're going to be dealing with 3 birthday cards. I made each card from a different stamp set, and these stamp sets are going to be retiring at the end of the month. And I wanted to remind you that they are gorgeous and that they're fun, or that they're a man card, whatever each feature was. So I wanted to remind you to grab these before they're gone. And with that, I'm going to transition over to my desk, hopefully. Yay, it worked. Okay, so just as usual, this is the monthly host code. My name. This is where you find me on the internet. Busy with the cricky.stampinup.net. I'll put this up again at the end. But for now, I guess I'm just ready to get going. Oh, I almost messed up. Hate it when I almost mess up and I just got here. Okay, this is our first birthday card. I love this card because it's so easy and it's so pretty. And it was made with the Country Home stamp set, which I have my ring light overhead, so I'm trying not to kill you with the glare here. I used this stamp, which I think is like an old milking can thing, and I used this cotton, which I just love. I want to remind you, if you've never seen this made for Christmas, this is so pretty, and this is a Christmas card. I just really like it. Oh, the other 2 things I used were the hello and the little oval for the front. Okay, so without further ado, let's try and get going here. I used a little watercolor feature on the back. I have cut all of my pieces ahead of time because I wanted to be efficient. Forgive my little scribbles here. I don't know if you can see this. I don't know if I can lower this down so you can see this. What if I just bring it up to you? And if you want to screenshot this, forgive my little scribbles, but these are the dimensions of the items we're going to use. The petal pink cardstock, the gray cardstock, which I used, not smoky slate, which one is that? Gray granite. And then the white cardstock. And 1 piece is for the front and 1 is for the inside. So if you don't have that written down, I'll try to post these later. Okay, so I started with this front piece. And what I did, and that's where this little messy guy comes in, what I did was I took a old stamp block from pre-Stampin' Up days, and I just stamped ink right onto that block. And then I took a water brush, and it has water in it, so I'm just going to wet this. Ooh, I didn't want to get the liquid up in there. I tend to do that. I forget and let it suck back up, and then it messes up my water. Okay, so I have this color on here, as you can see. So I just want to do kind of a simple watercolor back. I'm going to start with just giving it kind of a light wash in places, skipping and leaving some white in between. And there's really no right or wrong way to do this. Now, I do want a few places to have a little more color, so I'm going back over those right in there. Okay, and then I'm going to just wipe this off on my yucky chamois, and we're going to do the same thing again, only this time we're going to use the gray. I hope you can hear me okay. It just occurred to me that the microphone is all the way over by my computer, and I'm sitting over here at my desk. Maybe I need to speak just a little louder, I'm not sure. I hope you can hear me. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing. We're going to add wet, and we're going to mix it, and then I don't want quite as much gray as I had of the pink color, so, but I do want a little more right down in here where my little milking can is going, so that, it sort of gives me some shadows there. And that's it. That's how I made the background of this card. And we'll compare. And we'll compare if I get them under the camera. How's that? Not bad, huh? Alright, now, because this is wet, we probably don't want to use this right now. So, I'm going to put this all away somewhere, and we're going to bring out the one I did just a few minutes ago so it would have time to dry. And I'll put that guy over there and let him dry. And so the next thing I did was I stamped the milking can, trying to find if I already have that on a block someplace or not. And I don't think I do. So that means I need to find my stamp set. Here we go. I'm just going to peel this whole thing off here for the moment because I need to do a couple of steps here. Alright, put that down. And then this is a C size block. I don't know if you can see that. There's a little C on there. You just have to trust me. This is a C block. And it's a good size for what we're doing here. I love our stamping blocks. One of the simple things I love about them is they have this finger groove on all sides. So it doesn't matter which direction I'm holding this, it feels good to stamp. Okay. I'm trying to make sure I'm on the screen for you, but on the desk for me. Yay, that worked out really well, didn't it? Alright. So I need to I'm just going to pull this off here and stick it up there for right now, because I have 2 more stamps to go. I'm going to do this little oval and try and straighten that up just a little bit. Of course, while I'm holding this in my hand is probably not the best time to try and straighten it up. Okay, I'm going to put this kind of right there. I should warn you if I start coughing, because I know at some point I will. I had to go be treated today. Apparently I have a respiratory infection thing where it just kept getting worse and worse, so I finally went to the doctor. And hello, it was antibiotic time. Okay, now I've got the little hello, and I'm inking it. And what I'm using for ink, by the way, is the Memento Tuxedo Black. And the reason I'm using Memento is I want to use our Stamp and Blend markers to color. And they work really, really well with Memento. If you use StazOn, it will run. And that will just ruin your whole effect. So, we're going to use this. And I have a couple of colors out, but what I'm really going to do for this are the coordinating Petal Pink. It's the same ink I used on the background. And I like to start with the dark one. And I bet you'd like these glare things gone, wouldn't you? I am so sorry. I'm not used to having the light right overhead. I did some repositioning. Let's put this out here and see if you can see this better. At the risk of having everything fall on me, I want to try and zoom in just a touch. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to purposely leave some white spots. But where I think my shadows ought to be, I'm going to darken those in. And I do, of course, want to darken all of the edges a little bit just for contrast. Okay. And then underneath this, there's probably a shadow. Oops. And I just went outside the line, but it doesn't really matter because I'm going to cut this out in a little bit. So normally I'd be kind of freaking out on that and reaching for my color remover, but today I'm not going to worry too much about it. Okay, so I'm going back with the lighter and filling in some of the light spots and just sort of blending it. around there, as you can see. There we go. That looks pretty good. I might want to just take this dark one more time and do a little more dark right through here, in here. I'm trying to show that that's curved. Okay, that looks pretty good. Now that part that my friend Bernice hates, we must cut it out. She doesn't like the fussy cutting. I'm thinking that, you've had this whole year of COVID to practice fussy cutting, so maybe she likes it better now. I don't know. I've gotten better at it, but I really do prefer a quick punch or die. But sometimes we don't have anything that matches the stamp, so you've got to cut. And that's okay. And if I didn't want this popped up, I didn't actually have to cut. I could have just blocked out this section on the front of the card and then watercolored and let it dry. And then when it was done, I could have removed the little mask piece and stamped this right on there. But the truth is, I wanted this raised up a little. There we go. See, that wasn't too bad. Now, my card's still a little rounded, and I wish it wasn't. But I want to put this about right there. So, I need my ink again. And I'm taking the top part I told you with the cotton. That's right, computer. Now's the time to start making noises at me. You silly guy. Alright, I'm just going to put that right there. And let's see. It's going to look pretty good, don't you think? The way that would come up right there? Alright, let me get rid of this stamp. Cover this again. Now, I'm going to use some of those same colors I was using, plus I'm going to add in some leaves and some gray. So now I'm going to use, I'm pretty sure this is the mint Macaron. I'm going to start with the dark again. I'm just going to do part of the leaves. And you'll be amazed at how fast these leaves get themselves colored. Let me get that out of there for right now. I think that's it on leaves. Nope, I think this is a leaf right here. I missed that guy earlier. Alright, now I'm going to take the light and the light color and just go for the little ends. And when you see this in person, there's a little color differential there that's, just kind of nice. It adds some dimension to our guys. Okay, I'm going to take petal pink and color in these flowers. I'm also going to color in the little berries, whatever they are, with this. And there's another flower. I'm going to do the center with this. Okay, did I get all the berries? I think so. So I'm going to grab the light one and finish the flowers at the top and fill in out to the edges. And let's see. Uh-oh. Yes. Sorry, there was a notice up on my screen and I thought it affected what we were doing, but apparently, hey Judy. Oh, and you can hear me. Thank you. Okay, so glad to hear that. I thought that affected what we were doing, but apparently it doesn't. So, now that I've scared myself, I don't know if you can see this or not, or if I'm holding this anywhere near that you can see it, but that's what it looks like so far. Now, I'm taking the light gray granite, other end, sorry, and I'm going to color these guys in. These guys kind of give me the heebie-jeebies. I'm one of those people that doesn't like the nature things with holes, and they kind of give me just the creeps to look at it a little bit. So I'm going to hurry through those. Okay, I had trouble deciding what to do with the white, so I'll show you in just a second what I did. I'm looking for these. Yay. I was down to just the little stubby ends on the others. All right. What did I do with the milk? I covered it. The milk can. Okay, here we go. I'm going to put some dimensionals on the back of the milk can. And you'll see my crazy method here in a moment. I'm going to turn this sideways so you don't get my head in there, but so that I can still try and get this on here straight. There we go. Now, what I did, I wanted the white to be very white. So I got out my little white ink pad, and be warned, it takes a little bit for this to dry. And I took a sponge and I just cut a little tip off. And now I'm going to try and get some white ink on here and just whiten up in my cotton. Living in South Carolina, my whole life I never saw this until I moved here, and now I have actually seen cotton in the fields, and yes, it is whiter than that. And it's kind of neat to see. I also thought that it was harvested in the summer, thank you Michigan education, and I found out it's actually harvested in the fall. Okay, there we go. I think that just pops that up a little bit. I have things falling on me, guys. Put that back. All right, so that's what I used for that, and it worked out really kind of good, I think. And this is just our Whisper White ink, or just our plain white, and it comes, this is dry and you have to add the ink to it, but it works really well. Okay, while I'm stamping here, I'm going to add our sentiment. And the sentiment I'm using is from the Best Year Cling Stamp set, and I want to just use this Happy Birthday to You because I think the font's really pretty. And I'm trying to make it so you're not getting blinded with the glare, but you might be. I've already mounted this on here. I just need to ink it up. Oh, I stuck my finger in the ink. That's going to be bad down the road. Alright, now I want to see this. I want to try and get it straight, and I just touched that where it's curling up. Well, that's not good. Alright, I'm just going to go ahead and do this, and if I need to redo it later, I can always put something over. You know what? I can touch that up. That will not be a problem. And what I did then was I just attached this on here. I used some linen, kind of linen hemp braid thread, and I tied a little bow. I'm trying to hurry so I can do all of my cards without keeping you here half the night. And then the other thing I used, I love these opal rounds, and these are in the catalog, and I didn't notice if they're in the new catalog or not, but I hope they are. I think they are. I really like these. So this gets layered, and then it goes right on this card right here. And it's just like I did the original, all the pieces. And that's it. I just did 3 of these. And then there's just a white piece inside. But I wanted to show you what you could do if you really wanted to. Since I haven't put my white in yet, I could always do another one of these and do this little background of watercolor inside, just to jazz up the inside a little bit. Wouldn't that be fun? So that's what I'm thinking about. All right, that's card number 1. I hope you liked that one. I really like that card because I just love that stamp set. I'll show you this one more time. It's called Country Home, and yep, it's going to be gone by the end of the month. It's been around for a while, but I still really like it. So you're going to see my things I really like and don't want to say goodbye to is what we have going on here tonight. Okay, the next card, I'm using these little baskets to hold my goodies, so I have to switch baskets on myself. Okay. Our next card is a man card, and this one is made using the Game On stamp set, which again is so cute. This has been great for making cards for men. Even if they don't play chess or, roll dice normally, or, you know what I mean? They don't have to be into this. It just definitely makes a nice man card. These are the rubber mount stamps. I don't know if I've told you this before. When I take my sticky part and put on here, I save the back to that. I hate it when these stick in here so hard that I feel like they're going to take the label off. So I just use this. It's kind of wax papery. So the one we used tonight, we used the cards, and we used Hope Your Day is All Fun and Games, because birthday card. Alright, I'm going to hold this up again, and I hope you can see it. These are the dimensions. I used Mary Merlot. I used the same gray granite. I used navy blue print. And then I just used white cardstock inside, which I confess is not there yet. And I also used, this time I used some gray twine that is in the catalog. Really fun. Okay, so those are the measurements. If you've got a screenshot of that, that would be great. I'm going to put this aside now, and we will start with our card. So, the first thing I did is I layered these together. Now, I have to pick my side because I didn't have the exact same prints. I kind of like this one. So, let's go with that side. Let me get out my stamp and seal here. And I'm going to put some on the edges. And some more over here. Move this up in the middle where you can see it. Okay, that's the first layer. And then, I'm missing a layer. I'm missing a layer. Guys, I'm missing a layer. I don't know where it's gone. I don't think I cut them. Oh no. Well, that's not cool at all. Boy, oh boy. The things I forget to do when I am doing this. My goodness. So, I've got to pull out my 6x6 paper bin. Yes, it really is this big and crazy. Let's see if this one's big enough. It's not. Maybe that's why I didn't cut it. I just forgot. There's the piece I should be using. Okay, I put it away on myself is what I did. So, let's peek back over here. I need a piece of the Merlot, which I have some extras right here. Alright, so, I need my cutter. I'm sorry, I try to have these all ready, and then I just kind of brain bleep and don't. Alright, so this Merlot needs to be 4 inches by 2 3/4. So we're going to the 2 and over to 3/4. Okay, we've got that. And then our gray piece that I just got out needs to be 3 3/4. I wonder if that's 3 3/4. That is not. Okay, so I know it looks like I'm being crazy here. I'm really not. I promise there's a method to my madness. Okay, 3 3/4, which is clearly where I cut before, by 2 1/2. Alright, that's the next layer. All cut. I'll try not to mess that up again. Who knows what else I forgot to cut tonight. It'll just all come together. It'll be fine. I'm glad I did write down those measurements though. Made it much easier on me. Okay, I still want that side up, I think. Alright. See if I can stay out here in the middle where you can see what I'm doing. Okay, one of the things I did is I just had some adhesive go off the edge. Well, that's really sticky, so I'm going to fold it under before I attach it here. And that looks pretty good. I will tell you that when I did this last night, I truly did, or I guess it was yesterday afternoon, I truly did get out the ruler and make sure this was centered in there. This one's going to be easier though because of these lines. Not nearly as difficult to center. Alright, this guy goes right in the middle. And since those are really all pretty close, I think that looks not bad. Okay, so now we have to find our stamp, because guess who put her stamp away and forgot about it. Okay, so we've got this, and I did not stamp in Merlot, I don't believe. And by the way, if you're wondering what size this stamp is, this is a D. So earlier was a B, this is a D. And what I'm using is our cherry cobbler. And I just have a piece of plain white cardstock here. Oh, you know what? I think I used my Stamparatus earlier for this, so let's hope I don't need to switch gears. I'll just try and push hard. Last night I went back over the same place. Yeah, see, this one's a little light. I'm going to go with it, but last night when I did this, I keep saying last night, I made this yesterday afternoon. I went, I used the Stamparatus, so I inked it a second time. Now, once again, I'm sort of fussy cutting here. This one's pretty easy because, you know, it's mainly straight lines. And around the corner. And I'm trying not to touch it till I'm sure that my ink is dry. Oh, goodness. Judy, I'm trying to read what you said, but apparently I cannot cut and read the screen at the same time. So, everybody, if there's anybody else there, go read Judy's comments. Because Judy always has awesome comments. I have missed Judy and all of my scrapping women and stamping women and whoever else I get together with. I'm just going to go ahead and tell everyone right now while I've got you here, since just about all of the people in my customer group that are local, everybody that I know of anyway, has already had their vaccine. So I'm going to have my first in-person event again soon. I'm thinking Sunday, March 2nd. I'm going to have a new catalog kickoff because our new catalog is going to be live on the 4th. So to give everyone a chance to sneak peek and do their early orders. And I can show you the new product that I have. I'll be showing you some of that later on this week in a video. I'm waiting for one more shipment to come in. I got in the first one, but then I decided I needed to add some things, and so they're here. Just waiting for that next one, and I'll go through and show you all the fun things. So when I have this, oh, and as you can see, I'm matting this and just kind of cutting around it. At my bingo, I'm going to give prizes like I always do that are Stampin' Up! Products, but this time they're going to include like the new in-color inks and the new Stampin' Right markers and maybe some of the new cardstock colors, so that you will have them to use right away. And I thought, how fun. That'll be something that nobody, except Judy, of course, could have ahead of time. So, yay. One of the advantages of being a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator is we get to order everything ahead of time. Alright, so you saw what I just did? I put that on there, and I just cut around it. Now, I need to save a piece of this for that. So I think I cut that at about an inch. I don't know. I'm going to fake it here. Ooh, it's crooked on that side, guys. Oh, it's not cool. I don't like my papers to be crooked. The OCD in me will be crazy the rest of the night until I fix it. Okay, I'm going to get rid of that now. So, the next thing I did when I put this together is I did not lose these guys on myself. And I took the Stampin' Dimensionals and I put on the back of the cards because, you know, I like them popped up. And I think they're fun that way. And it adds a little dimension and a little interest. And speaking of dimension and interest, we're going to use some of this guy. This gray twine. And you're going to think I'm crazy how I do this, but I just put a little bit of Stampin' Seal, and then I start kind of making loops around where I think it might look good. And if I'm wrong, then, I go back and fix it later to a better place. The other thing I can do, I was going to use our micro glue, but I think instead I'm going to use just my quick dry glue to help me do this too. Okay, I'm going to come back around over here, and I'm going to go down and up, and then it's going to end down there somewhere. And that's so that I can get it under the sentiment tag too. They want to hang out together and I want them not to. There we go. So I'm going to just stick a few little pieces of, a few little squirts of glue here to hold these guys in place until they get sort of settled. Yay. And you can see I didn't have any great technique there. I didn't, map it out, plan it out. I just sort of, my friend Toby hates this, eyeballed it and put it where I thought it needed to be. Okay, sorry, holding these too close to me for you to see what I'm doing. And what I'm doing is just taking the backs off. Alright, now, I get to decide where I want this. I think I want it right there. And it's going to stay there. And guess what? I need to cut one more thing. Alright, I did the mat for this at 1 inch, so I'm going to do this one at 3/4 of an inch. And I'm going to find where I put our sentiment stamp, because I thought it was on there, but I don't see it. I make such a mess when I am stamping. I really do. I have stuff all over the place. Yes, guess what? I think I put it away. Yep, it's right here. Put this out here. And I'm using the lines on the grid paper to help me. Okay. That Memento ink again, just because I like it at this point. Okay, I'm going to try and sneak over here and see if anybody else has said anything. Nope. Just Judy. Not that that's bad. I just love Judy. Okay, there we go. We're going to stamp that. That's a little light, isn't it? Let's flip it over. Good thing about paper is you get another chance because there's two sides. I might need to add inker to my Memento. I have used it a lot. Better. Alright, get that out of the way. Cover this up so I'm not wearing it. And I'm going to stretch over my tool caddy and grab the Banner's Pick-a-Punch. And I want it to have this little bend in it. So I'm going to put that up in there. And then I turn it around so that I can see that it's even in there. Oh, and I've smeared the ink. And now I can't tell which was my good side and which was my bad. Is it good when you're... I think this was my good side and it's now going to be my bad. I think when you can't tell them apart, then that's not really a problem. I want this side to be a little shorter. That looks better. Now, debating how much to take off of this one. Now, I should tell you, this has a 1/2 inch groove, the 3/4 of an inch groove, and then it has the 1 inch groove. So this isn't fitting in there. I must have been generous with my 1 inch. But anyway, it goes up in there, and yeah, it cuts them all pretty evenly. I just try and watch against the end and see where they come up in there also. There we go. So that's the Pick-a-Banner punch. I was so excited when those came out because I'm just going to be honest, I have such a hard time cutting these evenly. Some people can just do a little snip up, snip over and snip over. I am not one of those people. No, I struggle with them, so I was so happy for that banner punch. And the fact that it had the same banner going the other direction, because you can also make it, so it comes out to a point on each end. We actually have 3 of those now, 3 different pick a banner punches or pick a whatever punch, and I really like them all. The others have kind of different decorative ends, and they're really good for layering for those decorative ends. Do you get the point here that we are almost done with card 2? I've done a little more putting together on card 2 than I did on card 1. Okay, now I'm going to start acting like card 1 here. The next thing I would do is I would just attach this right here, and I'm going to just pull that out because I want that card on top, not my banner. Okay? By the way, that was my back side where I stamped, and I think it came out fine. Anyway, I would just put this here, and then inside I would add my white inside, though I could always cut another piece of gray and then put the white inside, which, adding some matting to the inside is just going to do nothing but dress it up a little. But yeah, nice man card. What do you guys think? I like it. Thank you, Judy. I love those colors too. All right, so time for a little cleanup session here. I made it through 2 without having to clean up too much, but now I got to get rid of all these dots. They're bothering me. All right, number 3. Number 3, I actually almost cried when I saw that this stamp set was going away. People, I love this stamp set. It's Beautiful Friendship. Beautiful Friendship has the prettiest flowers, and it's a technique that when you stamp them, they look, like you stamp layers and layers. So this is what I used for the card, and I just stamped this once because it has these, stamps that make it look like you stamped in layers. So, Beautiful Friendship. Don't let this go away. I actually BOGO a bunch of my things that are going out of the catalog. I do a buy one, get one locally, and I'm going to do that at my bingo this year. And people can purchase these items and pay me for them, or I'll have a price on this, they can take those items and order the same amount from the new catalog. So this is one that is not going to be in the BOGO because there's a few that I just can't let go of, and these last 2 definitely fall into that category. Okay, the first thing we do on this card, and I didn't score ahead of time because I wanted you to be able to see what we do. And what we're going to do is, these are our dimensions for this card. Okay. And right down here's the blue. We're going to score at 4 1/4 and then at 5 1/2. We're going to get our blade out of the way. So I'm scoring at 4 1/4. Then I'm going to move this over. I hope you can see this. I'm off out of the screen thing. I'm sorry. And 5 1/2. Okay. And this is going to make this little book binding fold. I think everything else is cut, so I should be able to get this guy out of the way. All right. So I'm going to score this, and then I leave this open, or I score that back. So the card's going to open like this. I'm going to tell you that normally I do not glue this closed right away because sometimes I want to wrap something around over the side or do a bow, and so I wait to the end to close it. But today I know I'm not doing that, so I'm going to go ahead and just put some adhesive in my fold and close this guy up. Excuse me a moment. Sorry, I did tell you, upper respiratory infection. I knew it would come back and get me at some point tonight. It's just a matter of when. Okay, now, I wrote on the back of that one because I thought I would need to tell you that, but I didn't. This is going to be a little interesting. I want to line these up like they're going to be on the card after they're matted. So I'm trying to use the lines on the grid and the edges of the paper, and I think I have done that. So while I have those lined up, I'm going to grab just a piece of this quick release tape, and I'm going to get this hydrangea or lilac, I'm not sure what this is, the blue flower. I'm also going to tell you that the colors we're using in this, I almost forgot, speaking of things that are going away, this was one of my 3 favorite colors in our entire line. And when we have in colors, they're only around for 2 years. And so this Seaside Spray is going away. And again, my heart aches for that. I love that color. So what I'm going to do is I am going to try and turn this. I don't have any idea how I did it before, other than somehow like this. And then I stamped down here in the corner. And I'm pressing very hard. I should have used some kind of little stamping mat underneath. Oh, it didn't come out as nice as I wanted it to on the edge. Wonder if I can get in there and just make it look like it did. Maybe. I'm going to turn. I'm going to turn and lift. Well, the whole point of this was showing you don't need to cheat to do it. I'm having to cheat to do it. Sorry about that. Ah well, close enough. Normally, if I had actually gotten out the little foam mat, I think that would have gone better. Sorry guys. Oh, I might need this again. Okay, on this card, I used this flower right here to stamp up my piece here on the edge. I'm going to find that piece over here. And since my stamping is not working as well tonight, I might just do this. 1. 2. There. So now that side's all done. And so it'll just go on like that. Okay, now the next thing I need to stamp, I need another piece of white. Did I short myself a piece of white, guys? That would be about like me, because we have established that I didn't necessarily... No, it's back there. I have it. Thought I didn't cut out everything I needed, but I found it. Alright, now I have these of the ink, and I have the flowers and the leaves already on the blocks. And I have the birthday sentiment already on the block. So let's get rid of this ink. And we're going to use, for the flowers, we're going to use Calypso Coral. Calypso Coral is not going anywhere. It is part of our line, and it is going to stay part of our line. Yay! Okay. Now, see how I did this once, and it looks like it's a double stamp? Isn't that fun? Alright, so I'm going to need this side stamped also. Put those aside. I'm going to close this up. And apparently I forgot to grab my green, and I want to use Pear Pizzazz because, I don't know, I just like Pear Pizzazz. He's fun. Okay. I think I did 2 little sets of Pear Pizzazz. And apparently tonight with me is all about, I didn't realize I had to cut with all 3 of these. We're going to take the scissors again, and we're going to cut out around these. And if I had been really a smart woman, which I think we've established I am not, I would have pre-cut all of this so that you didn't have to wait while I cut it out. And I think I recall thinking that when I was making the cards, and then I forgot all about doing it. So the thinking it and the doing it had sort of a glitch in there somewhere. I could blame it on being sick, but the real truth is it's just normal me. Alright, there's one. And I don't really need these stems. They're just going to kind of be in the way. Oh, you know what? I think I do want those stems after all. They're going to go underneath the other flower. But what they're going to do is make it so I don't have to individually position these. Glad I caught myself before I completely ruined that and cut it all apart. Alright, this will go down a little bit right here, because again, it's going to go underneath. Okay, and up and around. Now, if you are interested in my bingo on the second, I haven't priced it yet, but I think it's probably going to be in the $35 range. Let me know. We will be making cards, we will have snacks, we're going to have like 4 door prizes, and lots of good bingo prizes. We'll be playing 7 games of bingo. I'm pretty excited. I've missed in-person bingo. And I know that makes me sound like an old lady, but let me tell you, stamping bingo is a good time. I don't care how old you are. Okay, so you know how this would have been easier if I'd have done that a while ago. I cut way better when I don't have those big pieces. Oh, so yesterday I messed this up a little bit, and I'll show you what I did. Don't you love that I get excited to show you my goof? I wasn't thinking about how this card opens when, excuse me, when I was attaching the leaves to the front. And I had to trim a leaf. Okay, let me save that for later. We're going to add that to the trash pile. You get over here before I lose you. Alright, so what I did, I ended up having to go back in and cut that because I noticed it was bending when I opened the card. So don't be like me, don't mess that up. Alright, let's put some of this together. And this one I think we do need to put together on screen. Together. Okay. We're going to start with where I was going to do the dimensions on the back for all of you, but then I just decided to write it on the little sheet. Thought that might be easier. You could get a screenshot all at once and it would be great. Okay. Bottom layer. It's going to go right in here. I might get a little carried away with the stamps and seal, I don't know. I like our stamp and seal. Remember when we had that free shipping sale a while ago? I ordered a whole bunch of stamp and seal and dimensionals because that was like getting them for an extra 10% off. So, yay. So I stocked up on that kind of thing. Alright, there we go. This is really going together fast, I promise. It's not as hokey as it looks like. Now, see if I can get this centered in here. Somewhat straight, I don't think I did. I think it's a little bit far to the right, but I'm going to call it okay. And while I'm there, before we go any further, let's go ahead and stamp Happy Birthday on this. Test that, it looks good. Really wish I could get over top of this and make sure it's straight. Oh, yay, that looks good. All right. Okay, I'm missing a gray piece, and that doesn't mean it's not here. That just means I didn't pull it out. It's right there. Okay, so yeah. See if I'm on the page or on the screen for you. I don't know. I can't tell. So these little pieces, this one is cut at 1 by 4 because this is 1 1/4, and this one is 3/4, by 3 3/4 because I wanted it to inset a little bit on here. Like that. Okay. Now what I did with these is, these I just sort of glued down. I am going to use glue because I wanted the upper ends to be loose and to be able to kind of slide around a little while I position everything. Get more up like that. Then these guys I used, or this big guy, I used dimensionals on because we all know I like my dimensionals. Alright, and this goes kind of over here, right, maybe there. Then I'm going to do the same thing with the leaves that I did with the other flowers. I'm just going to push, and you know what, if I'm not careful, I'm going to be trimming myself a leaf. There we go. There we go. And then this side goes over here somewhere. Okay, I also used these same guys again because I just love these opal rounds. And I popped one up here and one over here somewhere. And then I thought it just needed one more over in this bunch of flower. And then the last thing I did was I took that white twine. Okay, so each card got a different color twine. I took the white and I just tied a bow and played with it till you get it like you want it. And I glued that right in here on the edge. Now remember that I told you could, if you wanted to, I didn't like the way it looked on this, but before you close this, you can always wrap this around it a couple of times and do your bow over here. And sometimes I like it better with ribbon that way, but you know, that doesn't look bad either. But in this case I went more simple because there was a lot going on here. And I'm just going to put some glue there and throw this guy at myself. And here we go. Put that right down in there. And there we go. So let me see if I can find all 3 birthday cards here to show you real quick. And while I do that, I'll close my glue. And finished card. And finished. Nope, not finished card. Finished card. Alright. I'm hoping you can see all of these and not see all of my mess. Okay, Judy, are you still here with me? Alright, I'm going to go back over here and make sure that you can see these in here. Those are tonight's 3 cards. And I just want to remind you again, this one is the Country Home stamp set, and it's going away. This one is the Beautiful Friendship, and you know, it too is going away at the end of the month. And then this one is one of my man card sets called Game On. And you know, we need man card sets because we do have men in our lives and we do need to make them cards also. Alright, I'm going to show you this. If you order any of these stamp sets or any other products, if your order is under $150, I'm going to ask you to use this host code, and you put that in when you're in the checkout. I felt like it moved this time, or maybe it's just sick me, I don't know, but I went to put in my own host code the other day and I felt like it moved on me. But it's before you get to payment, it's when everything's in the cart and it's up near, it's above the total somewhere. I thought it used to be under, but it was above. So look around for it and then you just type this number in and that would be great. If you're interested in hearing more about my bingo, please let me know. Again, it's going to be a catalog release bingo, snacks, samples, etc. kind of day. It should be fun. Seriously, should be fun. I'm excited about it. Thanks for popping in with me tonight, and I hope you enjoyed the 3 birthday cards. I will be posting this video to YouTube at the Spartan Sue's channel if you want to see it again later there, or it will stay on Facebook. Thanks so much. Have a good night.